recording stop in progress.
Yes, here I am. It still sounds like the voiceover is saying meaning is being reported instead of recorded. And it's like, who are they reporting it to? The FBI? I didn't think we were subversives or anything like that. But I guess that's a pretty good Simpsons couch gag on getting started. All right. Well, even though I had the day off for Memorial Day, I still found things to do. I say that to people all the time where I can't just sit idle all day. I have to find things to do. I want to feel productive. And of course, stores were open, so I went to some of them. And that led to good stories right there. Because there's a dollar store within walking distance of where I'm at. And I go in and I'm used to hearing the bell clang when the door opens because that lets the employee know that a customer's there. But the employee kept wanting to talk to me. Hi, how are you today? Do you need any help finding anything? And I just politely said, well, I've been here before. I know what's in here. And it's like, is this dude bored? Is that why he was talking to me? And then a little later on, I think he said that he was new. And it's like, oh, well, I guess that explains it a little, but not entirely. And while I was there, I was caught a little off guard. I ended up buying more than expected because, hey, it's a dollar store. They still might have good deals. And they often have previously used CDs and DVDs for pretty cheap. But when I was looking at some of them, I heard some music start blaring. And when I'm caught off guard like that, I'll say, get up and dance. And the song I had to make a mental note of and then Google it later on. What was it? Build My Whole World Around You. And there were two versions that I found. One of them is a duet that involves Marvin Gaye, and then the other was the Supremes. And it's like, oh, Motown song. That makes sense. So I always like how I can find more information about music because I'm paying attention to hearing it wherever I'm at because they seem to be playing music in stores wherever I go to. And then there were some good Aldi stories from the extended weekend as well. When I went for my weekly grocery order, I think I saw the same mom that I had seen earlier that has her hands full with three little kids, one of them in a stroller. This time, one of them spoke to me, the girl. She had a Batacorn vibe shirt on, which I guess is a hybrid of a bat and a unicorn. The little girl spoke to me, and I can't. She probably just said hi. That's usually the only word that little kids will say to people because I don't know any other. I'm not sure how many other words that they know. And then I just said hi to you too, and kept going because it's like, yeah, be polite, but don't be creepy. And the little girl spoke to me when the mom ran off to corral her other kid that wasn't in a stroller. And then I ended up being behind her in the checkout line, and even the clerk said, looks like you got your hands full. And I know when I see something like that, all I'm thinking of is, better you than me, because I don't think I'd have much patience with kids, especially that many. Oh, and the other Aldi story. I often see people abandon carts, even though you get a quarter when you take them back. So I was taking one back today, and somebody tried getting my attention, and they did. They said, sir, I'll give you 30 cents for the cart. And I said, well, I get my jollies from locking them back up. And then she acted really disappointed that I turned her down. It's like, I have a right to turn her down. 30 cents. That's only 5 cents more than what I would get if I returned the cart myself. And then she acted really disappointed and even said so to somebody else that I turned her down. And then hopefully I heard it loud enough for her to hear it. I ended up saying, I heard you the first time. I mean, why'd she offer me 30 cents? Because she didn't have a quarter? Well, I remember seeing that sign back in college in one of the offices I was cleaning at the nursing home at the University of Iowa. Lack of planning on your part does not constitute an automatic emergency on my part. I mean, I've said that about other things in life where I have the right to turn down offers. I don't have to accept everything that's sent my way. Some people, wow. Uh, so there was that one. That's a good one. And then another way I stayed active today, IT. Yeah, that makes sense because you IT people get a lot of things thrown your way. I try not to throw too much at IT people, but some of the things I send to them, I have no choice. Another thing I did today was I did a meetup walk at Fort Snelling State Park. I like doing some of those because it's nice to get out and meet people. And of course, a place like that has historical markers because there are so many different historic parts of Fort Snelling, not just the old fort either. So it was cool to do that, and I know why I hadn't done it before. It's kind of hard to get around in time when I have like a 45-minute commute after work, and it starts at 5:30. So it's like, yeah, day off, that works for me. So hopefully I can do that one again. May not be till Labor Day, who knows? But I know it can be hard at times to find people my age at some of those events. I mean, it's still easier to connect with people when you have shared experiences, and that means it's easier to connect with people your own age. I know that my favorite MASH episode I saw back in college was the black and white interview episode, and I remember even that's what Colonel Potter said about the Korean War. His character did anyway, was I miss being around people my age. Oh, I went to an in-person open mic for the first time in over a year, and that's a real eye-opener. I didn't get stage time there, but it was still nice to reconnect with a few people I hadn't seen in a while. I might have overdone it on saying that it was cool that a few people reached out to me during that time. I said it because it meant a lot to find out who my real friends were. And then near the end of the night, after about half the lineup performed, I said I wanted to leave early after the friends I wanted to see performed. I went to talk to one of them after his set was done. And I was waiting in line because he was talking to somebody else. And then another comic who I don't know as well tried getting my attention. And then he tried to act like I was rude to him. It's like, well, no, I acknowledge you. I know who you are, dude. I said his name back to him. And I think he was trying to double down on giving me a hard time. Say my name. And it's like, yeah, that's a little too weird, especially in times of civil unrest, where that's often what they say at protests. And I love what my friend did because he started paying attention and then he stepped in, where he said, is this guy being rude? Is he bothering you? I can fuck him up for you. And I ended up falling down on the floor laughing. And I got an apology out of the dude that was giving me a hard time. I mean, eventually, I might have called his bluff on what I was doing, but I think my friend was a lot funnier and a lot quicker about it. So it's like, yay, kind of like that Joe Cocker song that was a cover of a Beatles song. I get by with a little help from my friends. I even told my friend I was going to do that joke and tell him how it went. I know that was another term that I've learned thanks to performing, just listening to people, the way they talk about life. It's like flipping the script. One of many terms that I've learned that way, because when you're out at bars, you're out among people a lot more than anywhere else in life. It's why Brits call them pubs, as in public houses. So there was that. I sometimes get inspiration on what to write about from my blog, where I write about work every day that I'm there. And I know one recent thing that is hard for me to ignore is I work in a secured area because I print checks for a bank. And that means if somebody needs me, they ring the doorbell. I'm pretty well isolated down there. And the jingle from the doorbell, I didn't recognize for a while. But recently it changed, where now it plays Jingle Bells, and it's like, who changed it? Why? And then I've noticed that people ring the doorbell, notice the same thing. It's like, okay, I mean, it really doesn't matter what it plays, but it's like, wow, that's the one that got chosen. I guess it
could be worse.
Not just for Christmas anymore. What was that, Ski?
It could be worse. Something like Baby Shark or something.
I don't know that one, but I'll look it up. And you know I will, because I already talked about that with looking up a Motown song at Family Dollar.
Yeah.
And then I'm still doing the Redbox movies. The rental from Redbox I watched this weekend was called Informer, or The Informer, which was a crime thriller. And I like thrillers a lot because they keep me guessing. In this one, I guess the scene that I like the most in it is when the wife is confronted by an investigator where she works and blows the dude off and says, yeah, everybody claims that they come here to help, and it becomes the opposite of what they do. Unless you want to buy something, get the fuck out. And it's like, yeah, I think I've wanted to say that to people before. So I understand why they write scripts certain ways, where they want the audience on a certain character's side. So it's like, yay, for somebody who has the courage to say that. And I know the other thing I like watching this weekend, I guess I'm a news junkie. When I talk about certain things like documentaries, biographies, that's probably not too much of a stretch for people. I like seeing people get interviewed. I like watching 60 Minutes this weekend because they had a segment from a German piano player, and there were times where he said he was looking for inspiration so he wouldn't get burned out. And where did he find it from? Eminem. You wouldn't expect that from somebody who plays classical music, but I guess it doesn't matter where you get inspiration as long as you get it. Because, I mean, genres get mixed together all the time. They borrow from each other all the time. Even Charlie Daniels sang it in one of his songs. You can call it country, you can call it rock, but play this sucker till the day I drop. Yes, couldn't have been said any better than that. So I guess that'll do it for me. Thank you. You've all been great.
Yay!